Welcome to Video Rental, your retro movie hub. Join us as we rewind through the iconic films of the 70s, 80s, and the occasional 90s gems. From cult classics to blockbuster hits and even some infamous flops. We're covering it all. So grab some popcorn, get cozy, and let's dive into the wonderful world of retro cinema together. Doug, how are we doing today?
I'm just wonderful. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm great. Dougie, how we doing?
Good.
All right, on today's episode, we're going to be covering 1986's Cobra. Dougie, when was the first time you seen Cobra?
Last night.
It seemed like this is an ongoing thing.
What do you expect? I mean,
What was it? Evil Dead 2? That was the first time you'd seen it, or
that was like 2 nights before.
well,
in that realm
in the realm.
Recurring category.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Doug, what about you?
Ooh. I'm pretty sure I didn't see it in the theater. I know that I saw it on probably on late night TV showing. You know, one of those showings on TV.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact date, but it was one of those movies that had a rotation back then. You know, you pick it up in the I mean, you can't. The movie cover, the VHS cover, I should say, was always that awesome,
Poster?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's classic.
I am honestly, I think I need to get that poster and put it in this room here.
That 45 with the Cobra handle.
Yeah, I could put it there on that blank wall.
Oh yeah,
that's a very iconic poster. The poster is probably more iconic than the movie itself. Because I remember, what was so funny is I remember that poster in The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg had that poster in his apartment.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've seen the poster for this movie.
He's literally
many times before I've ever even thought of watching.
Yeah. I mean, he's literally it's a red background. It's Stallone with his sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Hiding the cocaine, and
Yeah.
and just holding
Toothpick in the mouth.
Toothpick in the mouth and
Matchstick.
and holding his pistol. It's that weird, isn't it that weird little machine gun that he puts together in the movie? Isn't that on the cover? Because remember.
Well, he has the one where he's got the 45 in his waistband
Yeah.
with the Cobra on it.
Yeah.
And that's MP5 with a laser, and back in 1985 the laser was bigger than the gun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that I could see it. And I think even on the movie poster they had to like put in the light.
Yeah.
Where you could see the laser coming out of the gun, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's only one scene where that becomes even relatively relevant. And it's when they're like in the warehouse near the end, and he uses it to divert a guy to make him look somewhere else. And he just comes up behind him.
But it's cool. This movie sweats cool, literally.
There's a lot of sweating in this movie. I think the first time I saw it was probably in the early to mid 90s. I mean, that was like Doug, you were saying, it was kind of a rotation in our house. That was, we were all big Stallone fans. It was one of those kind of necessary action hero movies that you would watch, like Stallone, Arnold.
We always seem to watch Rocky around Thanksgiving and stuff.
I guess because it's cold.
Yeah.
Wintertime maybe, but this was just another one of those rotations of the cheesy action hero movies of Arnold.
A lot of cheese in this one.
Yeah. But yeah, it was probably early mid 90s when I first saw it. I mean, it was definitely probably TV. I mean, I don't know. I could not tell you honestly if we rented it. I'm sure we did. It might have been on VHS probably.
Oh, I'm sure my old man rented it.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a rotation in our house. All right, so I'm going to read the plot. A tough on crime street cop must protect the only surviving witness to a strange, murderous cult with far-reaching plans.
It's funny the way you do it. This cult of guys that just go into the bottom of this pool, this empty pool, and slap axes together.
Yeah, it starts out.
It's weird.
Cling.
Yeah.
Cling. Cling. We'll get into that. All right, so I'm going to read some fast facts here. So the movie came out May 23rd, 1986. How old were you, Doug, in May 23rd, 1986?
11.
11? I was not born yet.
All right.
I came out, 6 months later, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I was negative 20 years old.
Okay, and here's this is where it gets starting to get bad a little bit. It has an IMDb score of a 5.8.
It's not fair.
No.
I sweat that score down just a little bit.
Yeah. Their hands were sweaty when they wrote that down.
It's got a tomato meter critic score of 17%.
I could see the critics not liking this. This is definitely not a critic. This is not an acclaimed critic movie.
It has an audience score of a 43%. That's a little better, but not much.
People just wouldn't admit they liked it.
No. It's got it had a budget of $25 million. Box office, it just did a little over $49 million. So it didn't even break even.
It didn't make as much money as our last movie did.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. It's got a runtime of an hour and 27 minutes.
It was perfect.
Which, that's something definitely perfect. And I do have a little more information about the time and everything. But I think if you want just a cheesy, good action movie, that's a perfect time for it. Because I actually just watched it yesterday, I think. I was like, man, this is almost over already.
Yeah.
I was like, I just put it in, started watching it.
I know. The movies were like that back then. Everybody was ready to go back outside.
But that's and that's
I'm going outside.
That's what you kind of needed. And Dougie, I think you might have mentioned when we did Evil Dead 2, the time, or it was mentioned somewhere, but when it comes to a horror movie, you want the horror movie to be like that. You want it to be less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, because it was only 88 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect time. You put it in your VCR.
Yeah, if this movie would have been any longer, it just
yeah, I think so. So the cast, it's got Sylvester Stallone. I said that weird. Everybody knows him, but of course he's known for the Rocky movies, Rambo movies, Demolition Man, Get Carter, Expendable movies. He was also in the first two Creed movies, and then also his latest thing. He's known for his Tulsa King, which is phenomenal.
Oh, it's a great show.
I can't wait till season 3?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Looking at him in Tulsa King, and then putting Cobra in and watching it. Woo!
Big difference.
He aged.
He definitely got older.
I'm wondering lately if he's wearing a hairpiece. Like he's always had a full head of hair. It's never been a time where it's receded or anything.
I don't think so.
It just looks.
It's just. I think
it's been bald since a baby.
It's been a wig the whole time.
It's been a wig the whole time. Yeah,
but no, Tulsa King is a phenomenal show. It also stars Brigitte Nielsen. How some people pronounce it.
This is where they met.
She's known for Red Sonja. I guess that's like what's the Arnold?
It's a Conan
spinoff.
Yeah, it's like
he's in it.
Conan universe type of thing. Yeah.
Rocky 4, which love Rocky 4.
Drago's wife.
Yep. Beverly Hills Cop 2. And also she was also in an appearance in Creed 2 when he fought was Drago's son.
Yeah.
In Creed 2. She's had after Beverly Hills Cop 2, I think her career she did a bunch of TV and she kind of
she was riding off Stallone's money.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and they were married.
Yeah, they got married after this.
Yeah.
He actually proposed on Rocky 4.
Oh, all right. It also has some of these names. Rennie Santonio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was his partner.
Oh, yeah.
He's known for Dirty Harry, which we're going to have to do Dirty Harry.
We'll have to do. Yeah, that's a good one.
And he's not been a big player, but he's been in over 100 movies and TVs. He's got over 100 movie TV.
Oh, he's big time TV guy.
Yeah. But he's great though. Oh, the one thing now that I just thought of this, he was in one episode of Seinfeld. I'll have to refresh your memory on this. He was I believe he was a chef, and Jerry was dating like his daughter or something like that. Well, by the end of the episode, he was known. Or no, I'm sorry. By the end of the episode, he came over to Jerry's house. They were talking, and he sat down, and Jerry had to go use the bathroom. Well, the guy wound up leaving, and he peed in Jerry's seat, like on his couch, and just left. And he was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I don't remember
and that was the end of the episode.
Out of nowhere, this cast, dude.
Yeah.
You talk about an 80s cast.
Yeah.
Everybody in this movie, you can recognize them from another 80s movie.
So it also has Andrew Robinson. I know. Oh, that's the killer in Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
He's known for, he was in, and Preston would get a big kick out of this, I'm mentioning this, Deep Space Nine.
Oh, there you go,
Star
Preston.
Trek, Hellraiser, Dirty Harry, and Child's Play 3. Brian Thompson.
He was the one that he hit at the end of the movie, wasn't
Yeah, he was like, because he was like the lead detective or something.
Yeah, was always telling him he's too violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he, like I said, he plays that serial killer in the first Dirty Harry movie.
Yeah, and he come off that way in this movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
This dude's crazy.
He's creepy. He's a little creepy. Yeah. Brian Thompson, he was in Terminator. He's the killer in in Cobra here. He was in Terminator. He got his heart punched out by the Terminator. Joe Dirt, he was
Joe Dirt.
He was doing the whole Silence of the Lambs killer thing. He was not
Wild Bill.
No, it was something like what's Buffalo Bob? This was Buffalo Bill or something.
Bill.
It was I think he was Buffalo Bob in Joe Dirt. That's what it was. It was just it was making fun of it. And then also he was in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Okay.
Lionheart.
Yeah, I remember him in Lionheart.
Star Trek Generations.
Okay, Preston.
Dragonheart, and Three Amigos. He's been a bit player.
He was like one of the Germans. Yeah.
A lot of hearts here.
Yeah. Lee Garlington, Field of Dreams, 1 Hour Photo, Dante's Peak, Sneakers, and American Pie 2. And I'm trying to think who Lee Garlington is. The captain. He was he was also in Sandlot. He was playing Babe Ruth in Sandlot.
We should probably bring up the cast
Yeah, I know. You would recognize him if you saw him.
Oh yeah.
Art LaFleur, War Games, Field of Dreams, Forever Young, Sandlot. Oh no, that's him. That's who I'm thinking of. Never mind. Maverick, Santa Claus 2 and 3. Screenplay by
Art LaFleur. He's the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought that up last night.
Yeah. Screenplay by Sylvester Stallone. He really took control of this movie when he got it.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah. And Paula Gosling, and it's based on a book, Fair Game.
Did not read that.
Produced by Yoram Globus.
That's it. Yeah.
Menahem Golan.
My precious.
And music by Sylvester Levy.
All right.
Filming location was Santa Clara, California, and other Los Angeles neighborhoods. Directed by George P. Cosmatos. He did Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Oh.
Leviathan, and Tombstone.
Whoa, okay. They got better as he went along.
Yeah.
Tombstone will be here soon.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
Let me...
And Dougie will be here for that episode.
Yes, I will. I love that movie.
All right, so I'm going to do some trivia.
All
probably just
right.
messed all this up. The knife used by the Night Slasher character was made for the film by knife designer Herman Schneider. Sylvester Stallone had asked Schneider to create a knife that audiences would never forget. The knife was so sharp that the Night Slasher actor Brian Thompson would often cut himself by accident. one of these moments was caught on film in which he tests the blade on his hand while saying, "She's mine." You remember that scene where
he cuts his finger
after he's sharpening?
He really did cut
really,
himself?
yeah.
Okay, well, it looked good.
Well, he brought this up last night. He's always carrying it around like in his butt crack.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Dude, and knife that sharp, he would have cut one of his cheeks off. The way he carried that thing. He always had it tucked in back.
Yes, he did.
What's going on, man?
Slides it in and out.
Woo!
All right, so the custom 1950 Mercury driven by Cobra in the film was actually owned by Stallone. The studio produced stunt doubles of the car for use in some of the action sequences, such as the jump from the second floor of the parking garage.
Yeah, that thing
awesome.
gets torn up.
Oh,
Yeah, it
dude,
does.
it's destroyed.
He runs into a boat.
Yeah.
The original rough cut. Okay, this is I was talking about the time, how long the movie was. The original rough cut was over 2 hours long.
Whoa.
Due to concerns it might not be a hit, which it still wasn't, the final cut was 87 minutes long, thereby increasing the number of screenings per day. Some of the more violent scenes were also cut to avoid an X rating. And see, Dougie, we've talked about this. Me and Doug talked about this rate when it comes to the rating system. You know, if it's too violent, they'll give it a rating, X rating, and you won't be able to release it in theaters.
That's pretty wild. Or special kind of theater.
Or special, yeah. Well, and which they don't really have those today, but yeah, back then they did.
Before the internet, people.
Yeah. Which probably back then that they wouldn't even release it in theaters. They would probably just go straight to
video.
Video.
Well, I wonder if there's like a director's cut out there with all that. It might add a lot to the story because man, it really there's a lot.
It might be.
It jumps around a lot.
I think I have more information about different cuts and stuff. So it says a great deal of the plot detail was either removed or sped up, while most of the violence and nearly every death was edited or depicted off screen, resulting in numerous continuing errors?
Continuity.
All right. So that's enough for trivia. Doug, do you want to read us some?
Sure. Let's see what people think about this movie.
And really tell me what people think.
All right. Okay, this is November 22nd, 1998. This is a 1 out of 10. Could this be Stallone's worst movie? No.
No, I don't think so.
This guy's name, by the way, is They Don't Know 007.
TDK 007? Yeah, they probably got that. Well, no, 98. If they think this is his worst movie, they've never seen Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh.
You can't compare these two.
Dougie, you ever seen that?
No.
You need to show that to him.
Heard that name before.
You need to show that to him.
It's hilariously bad. Okay, somehow I missed Cobra when it first hit the theaters over 10 years ago. I finally caught up with it last night on cable, and I realized that I hadn't missed a thing. This is even worse than Tango and Cash. Come on. Well, Tango and Cash is better. I liked it. Absolutely nothing makes sense in this brainless film. Example, after Stallone wastes 2 axe-carrying members of a death cult at his home, his superiors still say he's offering no proof that the killings are being done by a team rather than a single man. That's true. That's true.
He does have some thought behind it because the movie, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just...
It's cheesy.
It's a lot of
it's in the cheese factor.
Cheesy fights.
Well, and also Stallone just may not have mentioned it to them at all. He might have just dumped the bodies in the ocean or something. And
yeah, you never know with him. He would have got rid of it.
He might have just dumped the bodies in the dumpster sitting beside his
let's
house.
face it. He probably could have killed 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
He could have killed several people in that apartment, and you wouldn't have known the difference.
No.
It was pretty bad. Only thing he had there was 1 slice of pizza and a gun cleaning kit. In the freezer.
An egg carton.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. That's just...
Let's see. At least there are a few members from the cast of Dirty Harry to remind us that a superior film can be made having the same theme. Ren that instead of Cobra.
He must have probably forgot to put a T. Rent that instead of...
Okay. Well, spell check, dude. Okay, let's see what this say. 10 out of 10. Pride of the Zombie Squad, Buried by Dust, December 3rd, 2004. This is the movie. Sly, who has also wrote the screenplay, did a really good job. I love this movie, especially the one-liners, which we're going to get into that. Mm-hmm. This is where the law stops and I start, or I'll blow the whole place up. Go ahead. I don't shop here. Sly plays the role as Cobra more than convincing. He is really the pride of the zombie squad. Brian Thompson does an excellent job as the Night Slayer, the personification of evil. He looks really scary and sweaty. Mm-hmm. Even the soundtrack is great. Listen to hits like Angel of the City and You Know What I Mean. I would put this movie as a number 1 in my top 10 action movies. Okay. Next to Commando. I'm sorry that a sequel was never made. Buy this movie. You won't regret it. All right. Let's see what this...
Number 1 in top 10 action movies. And this is in 2004?
Yeah, okay.
It was mostly...
There's this way better movies.
This kid was homeschooled, and he still lives there. I ain't going to knock him because he said he liked the movie. He liked the movie, so I give him that. Let's see. This one's a 4 out of 10. If only it was as good as the way it started. You really want me to try to pronounce that name?
Isaiah...
Isaac Sunadarna Linganam. Yeah.
Linganam.
That was from 2021. I think this movie started off well, and by well, I mean mindless violence with an over-the-top 80s macho badass Stallone. But then, as the movie went on, the existing dumb writing turned into lazy writing to leave us with a mess that is Cobra. The plot makes no sense, and I don't even want to start explaining what's wrong. The villains are just dumb, and almost everything they do makes no sense whatsoever. I'm okay with the characters being mindlessly evil, but I can't stand them being mindlessly dumb. It's just lazy writing all around with no redeeming qualities of any sort. The only few enjoyable moments are in the first act where the action sets up the movie up and introduces Stallone's badass cop character. It's cheesy, but it's a fun cheesy. Overall, it's just a bad movie with a nonsensical plot, but at least Stallone looked cool as hell, so maybe there's that.
I agree with that, but he should have emphasized more on the fun, cheesy part of it, because this is one of the movies that's the same thing as a lot of the ones that we go through. Sometimes they're so cheesy they're good, and you can't go into it with a mindset of it being a 2025 action film. They're completely different.
This is definitely a movie you could watch with somebody and have fun watching it.
This is a standard 80s cheese factory.
Oh, yeah. And you talk about today, we don't have those macho, manly man, going against the whole system type of movies anymore. You just don't. They don't have it. And these are the kind of heroes kids looked up to in the 80s. Like, dude, if I'm going to be a cop, I'm going to be that guy, 8 out of 10, an underrated Stallone flick. Movie Fan 85. Hey, that's probably. Did you write this, Nathan?
Nope.
Okay, I'm just checking. He wrote in 2004. I don't understand why everybody are trashing this movie. This is a pretty good movie. At least the movie is entertaining. The story is some crazy killing gangs kill young, pretty female. One woman becomes a witness, and so Sly must be the hero and save her. It's pretty funny because in the movie there is a line, I don't want to be a hero, I just want to be involved. We all know that star of this movie is Stallone. The leader of the gang is Brian Thompson, who you might know from the X-Files series, Van Damme's Lionheart. The director, George P. Cosmatos, Bridget Nielsen, who plays the victim that Cobra must protect, is awful.
This guy is just literally just reading the entire movie. That's what he's doing. He's just reading the movie.
Yeah. The movie was nominated several Razzie Awards when it came out. Few people actually liked it. I'm not a very big Sly fan, but still I enjoy this movie wherever I see it. Trust me, it's entertaining. Any Cobra fans, just write me.
Do you guys know what a Razzie is?
Oh yeah,
it's like the Oscars, but for the worst movie of the year.
Yeah. So if you win Razzie of the year, you got the worst movie of the year.
Yeah. And this movie, I wish I would have written it down, but I'm pretty sure it won 5 Razzie Awards. Because I think Stallone got for worst acting. This got worst movie. It was literally 5 different awards that they won.
Okay. There's some parts in the movie where I'm like, dude, you're not in a video game. When he hits him with the...
Oh, yeah. He's got to do the pose, He pulls the gun up.
All right, so let me explain this before you read this.
Okay.
I could not find a Roger Ebert review. This is Siskel and Ebert. Remember when they had a show back in the day?
Yeah.
They would sit there and talk about the movies,
right.
What's on the racks, and
Yeah.
But I could not. The only way I could find Ebert's review is he did it for the I believe it was for the Chicago Post or Chicago Times Post or whatever it's called. But you had to pay for it. I'm like, I'm not paying for just to find his review.
Yeah.
So, but I actually copied this from YouTube.
Oh.
This is actually their actual review of what they said on their show back in the 80s.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you'd have to subscribe to the newspaper.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not doing that.
Let's see. New on video shelves this week is the Sylvester Stallone's Dirty Harry imitation, Cobra, which had a terrific opening scene as Stallone is a Dirty Harry type cop who blew away a creep in a supermarket. But then the film ran downhill with the endless chase that show you 50 ways to leave your motorcycle. A lot of noise, but it's boring, very boring, and that's a shame because this film started out like a powerhouse. Then I think the audience said that Stallone really didn't have anything to say in this film that Clint Eastwood wouldn't say in his company. The director, Don Siegel, didn't say better 15 years earlier in Dirty Harry. One of the things that's disappointing about Stallone is that he really hasn't realized that potential that he showed in his early pictures to be an actor who was able to combine tenderness and humor and a real scene presence with violence. Here we could see just as well be some animated hero on some Saturday morning kiddie show for all the depth that it has. No depth at all, just a lot of firepower. That's funny. Looking back on this now through a lens of 2025, they talk about he wasn't able to combine that, but then you look at Tulsa King and how he's so much older now. And he can just flip the switch from the.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I think the reason for that is because he was literally on cocaine. Like they showed him he was in full control of this movie because he was so full of himself back then. He was. I mean, they literally said he was on coke all the time. The actual director, because they said pretty much Stallone actually himself directed most of this movie because he just took over. But the director himself said, I got some quotes of what the director said to him, that you pretty much just need to back off. You need to get off your high horse.
Well, he was riding a rocky high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This was
after First Blood Part 2.
Yeah, so he'd already done the first 3 Rockies. So, yeah, I mean, he was at his pinnacle.
Yeah,
right
he was huge already. Yep.
And every one of these big actors go through this. They get. I think the only one that really stayed humble is like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he stayed kind of humble.
Yeah.
But Van Damme did it. All them guys did that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Doug, for that.
No problem.
We really heard what people really think about this movie.
Well, a few people.
Let me also say the Siskel and Ebert thing, that was another big thing, Dougie, which you don't know about this, but that was a big thing back then. Is they actually had a TV show and they would take movies that were on the shelves and actually talk about them. And
it was a TV show, like a podcast review. Back it is today.
Yeah, 2 guys. It looked like they were sitting, like the set looked like a movie theater, and so they were sitting in theater seats, and they'd sit there and just talk about the movies
as it was playing.
It was playing. Yeah. But that was who would give. That was the big person, the big people that would a lot of people would decide on whether I'm going to see that movie or not because of
their articles were printed like nationwide in every newspaper.
All right, so let's do our scene by scene. The film opens with a shooting at the King Market where several people are killed. Cobra is called in and takes out the killer. We see Cobra's home life as he watches a news report about 16-time serial killer, or a 16-time serial killer. A waitress is being stalked, and the night slasher strikes again. All right.
There's a lot there.
So, so this was literally probably the only, the first, because I broke this down into 4 scenes, first 20 minutes of the movie. I think that's how I broke it down. Just this first scene. But, the movie, we talked about this earlier, but the movie starts with, you see guys clanging together.
Oh, yeah, in the bottom of a pool.
Yeah, and axes. Did you see the one guy in the suit? Clanging.
I told Dougie when we watch this, like, when you watch this, it's like watching, this movie is filmed like a 1980s hairband video.
Yeah.
I mean, even the scenes with Stallone's wife, what we just said her name? Bridget. Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget.
Yeah. She's doing the photo shoot, but like the music playing. Yeah. It's a video. This whole movie is like a 88-minute video or 98-minute video.
I asked him. I said, "What is going on here? We got her in a photo shoot, and it's just like these plastic robots."
Well, they did that back then.
Well, and I think she started out as a model.
Yeah,
she started out as a model, so that kind of went. This I'm not saying this was her first movie because I think Sonia was her first movie, but she started out as a model and then she eventually got into acting. So that kind of goes along with what she probably really was doing back then.
Well, and see, like kids today, like you don't. They had magazines, which is something that's really died out. Magazines, and like if you notice when she was doing the photo shoot, she'd have a different outfit on. Mm-hmm. It was about the outfit she was wearing, not. They would just do crazy backgrounds, and that would be like
the weird robots.
Yeah, photographers, whatever.
Yeah, but I got that. My problem with this is it goes from this super great scene with Stallone in the market, and then it just like transfers over into this. I'm like,
yeah.
It doesn't. It feels like it doesn't belong in the movie at all.
Full paced action. She sees a murder to all of a sudden, boop. Huh, okay. Yeah. But let's not gloss over this first scene because it's definitely one of the better ones.
The best line of the movie is.
Okay. So we get to that supermarket. Am I the only one that checks in these old movies that actually checks out products in the supermarket?
No, I was telling.
He did mention, he was like, yeah, all the logos look exactly how they
just like
did when I was a kid.
The old 7-Up bottle.
Yes, just seeing all because this is how grocery stores were back then. Just seeing the old style of grocery stores.
And the little CB mic, I remember seeing those on the walls.
Yeah.
Because they would call for somebody to help, or you'd call for somebody in the meat department.
Yeah, like Kelsey, your 2 pounds of beef is ready.
Yeah, or clean up on aisle 4.
Yeah.
That's
it was all walkies back then. Yeah.
Yeah. And those low refrigerators, like those coolers and stuff. Yeah.
So in that scene when, they call Cobra in, after this guy is just going on a killing rampage through this grocery store, they call Cobra in. So when he's in the grocery store, first of all, he takes a beer right there and just sips.
Chugs a Coors.
Well, no, he just sips it. He just, and then throws it.
I don't know. He definitely crushed 3/4 of that can before he tossed it.
He got more than a few sips out of it.
Well,
he was getting the weight right.
The one thing that stood out to me, and it always has because I remember it back then, was that Pepsi.
The twirling.
It was twirling, and like you were pouring a Pepsi into a cup.
Yes.
I want that thing so bad.
It's that plastic twirling thing. Yeah, that's awesome.
I want that thing. I would love that thing just sitting in my room right here.
Just watching it.
Just watch. I would, but then it gets destroyed. I'm like, ah. every time I see that it gets destroyed, I'm like,
Yeah, good buckshot. Good.
Well, they don't do displays like that now.
No.
It's all cardboard or they'll do something fancy with the 12 packs.
No, marketing was on another level back then.
That's one thing I always eyed in that scene. It was that twirling. I was like, man, that thing.
I
awesome.
always thought it was cool the way they had the Christmas decorations. It was so 80s Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
And they had the trees and they wrapped the bottoms, And
So you could almost say this might be a Christmas movie.
it absolutely could. It was at Christmas time.
This goes along with the lines.
The whole Die Hard.
He was on if he was on as much coke as they were saying, he was
Lethal
directing.
Weapon.
It may well be that he intended for it to be a Christmas movie.
You never know.
It
could have been the 4th of July, and he was so coked out of his mind, he didn't know.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of sweat, and it was awful hot to be a Christmas movie.
Every time you see them,
it's
it looks
Los
like
Angeles.
they came out of a pool.
Yeah, well, it's Los Angeles. I mean,
They dipped their head in a bucket, and then they stood up and filmed the scene.
So,
except for one part, did you notice? Oh, we'll get to it.
well, I was gonna say, so in this beginning scene, another thing, Doug, you were talking about everything old, like we remember, was the meat department counter as well. Was that front counter where you had to go through a door just to get into the meat department, like that front counter. You don't see grocery stores like that anymore.
No.
Like it's all everything's glass, and they can. It's not like that anymore.
No. It's definitely it was cooler back. I thought it was neat.
Yeah. So he kills that guy. I wish I would have wrote some of his one-liners.
Oh, the one-liners down. Oh, the one from when he has the bomb. He's like, I got a bomb here. We'll blow this place up. Go ahead. I don't shop here. That was like the first one when he said that was hilarious.
Well, and of course he wears his sunglasses inside.
Yeah, in a dark store.
Dark.
It's all that wood paneling everywhere. It's so dark in there. And there was another one when he says, there was another one he said, I'm drawing a blank now. I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, I know. I wish I wrote him down. Well, and that's also in that scene. I think it's where we didn't even mention this, but when he first gets to the grocery store and he pulls up in that car, that unnecessary car.
Yeah.
Why does a detective have that car?
He's got to have the coolest car on the force, man. Come on.
That thing has a speed shifter, an entire nitrous outlet.
That was before NOS became popular and everything.
They put the full word on the Oh, he said, I don't negotiate with dirtbags.
That's right.
I kill them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and almost. I got a 3D print of a gun. It almost looks like Cobra's.
You just got to put the Cobra on it.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's when he gets out of that crazy car. That's when you first see his gun in his waistband.
I would never put a gun.
Well, don't you have a holster? He always puts
his belt.
He always puts it in his waistband.
He can't show off that tiny cocaine waist of his.
One thing I did notice about Stallone, and I've never noticed it in any of his other movies, is how small his feet are in this movie. His boots, he's got such tiny boots.
He was unproportionate
in this movie.
Well, I mean, you talk about when he drops all that weight in Rocky IV and gets so ripped. I mean, he looks like a cheese wedge.
Well, you don't notice it. Like you don't notice how, because Stallone's not a big guy, not a tall guy.
Tall guy.
But it's just like,
but
for
he
some
skips
reason,
leg day all the time.
Yes, he does. But for some reason in this movie, his boots look so tiny on him in this movie.
Here's one of those another quote from this whole supermarket scene where the guy's like, I don't want to talk to you, and he says, now you bring him in, the television camera's in here now, and he says, come on, bring him in, and Corbetti says, can't do that, and he asks why, and he says, I don't deal with psychos, I put them away.
Well,
he was definitely doing the Arnold one-liners for sure. He was throwing them out there, see what stuck.
Or when they say, Corbetti, do you know you have an attitude problem? Yeah, but it's just a little one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So he takes out the killer. And then they go out in the parking lot there, and of course the media is like, do you think you used unnecessary force? Did you really have to kill him?
How'd the media know you already blew him away? He was just walking.
I know he just walked out.
We already know you killed him.
Well, and then the media's like, well, you use unnecessary force. Why? Everybody deserves a trial, and then Stallone pulls the sheet off.
There happened to be a bloody corpse right
there.
Like, you tell that to the parents. Oh yeah.
Well, you guys got anything else for scene one?
Let's see. That's when.
Oh wait, I didn't even get to. So this is where we see after all that we see the waitress being stalked.
Oh yeah.
And
in her little Volvo.
Volvo, yeah. And then that's where we first see the killer
slasher.
The night slasher.
The crew, the gang.
And Stallone goes home. So he goes home and he parks.
Dude,
he honks at those Hispanic guys
in the old Impala.
Yes, and he pushes it because they won't move.
Out of his parking spot. Did you notice it when you saw that? Okay, he pushed the car out of the way, and the guy gets up, and he's like, "You're that's bad for your health." I am. When he says that to him, but he rips the dude's shirt. Dude's wearing a wire.
Then he says, "Clean up your act."
Okay, so. I think I've done some research on this, and I cannot find one thing about it. It makes no sense. If it is supposed to be a wire, it's not even in the story.
No,
they don't mention it, and I'm almost thinking it might have been a microphone for
the movie.
For the movie,
and Stallone was so coked out of his mind, he just started to rip his shirt off
because the guy doesn't. Nothing. He doesn't. They don't mention it at all. So I don't know if it was supposed to have been a wire. They just completely forgot about it.
Maybe that dude was like a CI.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, because he's always parked in his spot. Yeah. But he moves after that one.
Yeah, but they don't mention it one bit. And it's very visible.
Oh, yeah. The dude's got a big wire taped to his chest. You're like, what the heck? That dude's like internal affairs or something.
Yeah. So they don't ever mention it. I mean,
skip right over. It's fine.
The funny thing is, it was probably supposed to have been a B story in the movie, and it got cut
out.
And they just left that scene in.
That's where the other 30 minutes of the movie went. It was
dude,
it could have been
the shirt tearing thing was so impromptu. I guarantee Stallone just decided to do that.
Who just walks up to somebody, and just rips their tank,
rips their white beater off,
and the guy doesn't do anything.
Straight. What does he say? Clean up your life or
something like that.
Yeah. It was good though.
So he goes inside, and this is where first of all he puts the paper underneath his grill or in his grill.
Yeah.
Why? Whatever.
I don't
know. He goes inside. He grabs a pizza box
out of the freezer,
and an egg carton out of the freezer. Sits down, starts taking apart his gun. Well, then he takes some scissors and snips a piece of the pizza
and then picks it up to bite it. What are you doing? But
he can just take.
Yeah.
Unless he is just so broke, this is just how he eats.
Okay, but there's a microwave in the background.
Well, cold pizza. Come on.
Cold pizza's okay, but
I love cold
frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza. But what I thought was funny
maybe it
about
tastes better on Coke.
He's constantly giving his partner a hard time about his bad eating habits.
Yeah.
What are you eating when he gets back here? He's got a frozen piece of pizza.
Of all things, he takes scissors to cut that pizza.
And it ain't like he didn't want to touch it because he picks it up twice.
Yeah.
But that was funny.
Well, and the whole egg carton with the gun cleaning stuff, is that a thing that you put gun cleaning stuff in cold?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, I don't know then.
I mean, all the oils and cleaning agents got to react to the heat of the gun. So, no. You don't have to put it in cold.
I don't know then.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought he was going to pull the Rocky, get a raw egg, and
Well, I thought he was going to just keep on cleaning the gun with his sunglasses on too, but he finally took them off.
He didn't even take them off till they started talking about the slasher.
Yeah, because he had the news on.
Yeah. And then he pulls them off dramatically.
Yeah, they talk about the 16-time serial killer. 16 people that these people have killed, and you still haven't caught them?
No.
16 people.
And it ain't like they're just random. They say the random part of it is what makes it impossible for them.
Yeah.
But
16, wow.
16 people.
It's a bunch of guys in the pool wearing pantyhoses over their face, clinking axes.
Hey, pantyhose thing. That was a thing back then. That's how you would hide your face.
That's why
it doesn't hide your face.
Well,
it just scrunches it.
Distorts
it distorts it up because
Yeah.
you know. Well, did you see what she did when she saw him? She was giving the cops a drawing of him. The dude literally did an outline of the dude's face and just put two big old cheekbones on it. That was it. That was the whole drawing.
Okay, let me say this about the pantyhose thing. Have you ever seen the movie Loaded Gun?
Leaving Arizona?
No, it was a spoof on Lethal Weapon, but I think it was Loaded Weapon. It had Emilio Estevez and Sam Jackson in it.
I know I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Well, there's a scene where Emilio is in a convenience store and he's shopping, and two guys walk in, and they bring up pantyhoses that remember in the eggs.
Yeah.
They bring those up to buy them. Well, they pay for them, and then they take them off right there and put them on to rob the store. And so they just have the two pantyhose hanging off the side of their head.
The one I always think to is Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
He's going to rob the store. And he's got the bag of diapers, and he goes to the old man. He's like, I'll take these Huggies and whatever cash you got. And the old man's son, you got a panty on your head. That stuck with me.
Oh, it was so great.
Was it National Lampoons?
Yeah, National Lampoon. Yes. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon. Oh man, if you guys haven't seen it, try to find it.
It's funny.
It's so great. Because it's a Lethal Weapon spoof, but it's great. All right, you guys got anything else for scene 1?
No.
Okay. So scene 2, cops are puzzled by the uniqueness of each death. Another woman is killed, and Ingrid, that's her name, is Ingrid, happens to witness the killer as she drives by. Cobra is assigned to the case and begins searching the streets. The killer discovers Ingrid's workplace and brutally kills 3 people to reach her. Ingrid manages to escape, and Cobra is tasked with protecting her. That night, the night slasher finds Ingrid at the hospital and kills 2 people along the way before attempting to attack her. Cobra is ambushed at his house.
You know how in the opening scene, like the title comes across and he's reading off statistics? Mm-hmm. We were trying to find a copy of this movie, and we ended up just getting like some random Spanish knockoff.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was funny because it just like a blob of gibberish. Yeah. And then we started watching the actual movie. And we're like, that's supposed to be Stallone?
Yeah, we had to rent it on Prime.
Yeah, that's where I had it. I know, and the worst part is I've got it. It's just packed up.
You need to get your DVDs
I really do, because I'm thinking, I was really thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, there's going to be so many more movies we're going to watch, and I guarantee you I have 90% of them.
And we're going, yeah, keep us off from renting them, man. Help.
Well, I mean, a lot of times I can find, they're on other websites, Max or...
Yeah, but some of these ones we're watching are just not out there.
I know.
Or they only come out certain times of the year.
And
what? Okay. The cops are puzzled. But, okay, they talk about how each one of these people are killed. Mm-hmm. Well, they're all killed with a sharp slashing weapon. Hello?
It's a knife.
They're all getting killed the same way.
Well, and, I love the fact that they're so, annoyed by the fact that, the killings keep on happening. And they're like, we just can't figure this out. But then they don't listen to Stallone, at all. They don't listen to him at all. He's got an idea of saying, hey, maybe there's more than one killer. Maybe there's a group of people.
Yeah,
no, you're crazy. Yeah, get out of here.
There's a reason you're on the zombie squad.
Yeah.
You have an attitude problem.
Yeah. It's just a little one.
But yeah, I just thought that sitting there watching it yesterday, I was like, you're not even listening to him at all. Like, you guys are so just, distraught on finding this person, but then you don't listen to any ideas at all.
Well, you notice he's like the best looking guy on the force too, though, so that could help,
Eventually, the Cobra gets assigned to the case.
Yep.
So he starts searching the streets. I thought it was kind of funny. I think this was during the photo shoot of Ingrid's photo shoot?
Yeah.
He was searching the streets, going to all the different hookers and
they were all men.
Yeah.
Every single one was dressed up as women.
They're in L.A., dude.
Yeah, that's true. So he's just going around and, of course, not finding anything. And then Ingrid's doing her weird photo shoot with robots around.
Okay.
And
that was just 80s. It was just 80s, dude. Well, the pink, all the wig changes.
And her photographer was trying to sleep with her so hard that he was just being so desperate. Hey, don't do it for me. Do it for your career.
Don't do it because I want to sleep with you. Do it for your career.
Your careers are important, so just do it for you.
And then they got to do the slow cut to the he's like, oh, I'll walk her out,
Yeah.
And then send the security guard off, and then they turn around and show the slow cut of the front. They make sure they show the front bumper of that old 60s Ford van.
Yeah.
It's got that big steel bumper. How else would he drive into the elevator and kill the security guard?
My dad had one of those vans.
Oh, they're tough.
Big steel bumper vans. I mean, yeah.
And
well, and
they didn't even show the.
He's not going to move. He's not going to run out of the way. He just stands there and screams.
Well, I didn't even write this in there, and I forgot to write it in there. We didn't even mention the one of the killers, the female killer. She's a cop, and that's how the killers are getting so much information.
Later on, they're like, we're bringing her onto the case.
Yeah, Well, because they show her look up. Because they get her license plate after
she drives away.
Yeah, she drives away.
Too. That's a sweet Jeep.
That is a sweet Jeep. Well, she drives away, and they get her, and of course the killer's just
standing there, stoic,
not even trying to run after her or anything.
He's just sitting there sweating, looking at her. Get the license number.
Well, we see that woman
they're putting the body they just killed on a park bench.
Yeah. Well, they see that woman, and it turns out she's a cop, and so that's when she searches for information on the woman, on Ingrid, and they find out where she works.
She's got the 80s rave look,
dude,
with the blue eyeshadow, pink lipstick, and then they saw her at the work with the cop uniform, no makeup.
Yeah. So they're walking out, and she forgets her purse, but then all of a sudden, that's when they all start attacking her.
Yeah.
And then that's when the security guards finds her purse and comes back down. They kill the photographer.
Yeah, they don't show it.
They don't show it. That's what I was talking about in the trivia earlier. That's how they were able to get it away from an X rating. Because I don't know. I think I have some stuff on that, maybe. But apparently there was extra footage of him actually getting chopped like 3 times by that axe.
Because there was an axe coming down. Because they show, of course, the dude. They show a picture. They got this thing about shiny knives.
Yeah.
In the pool, ain't nobody got no shiny knives. And a clink, clink. And I think they just reused that same shot.
Oh, yeah.
It's band rehearsal.
Yeah, it's band rehearsal. And he shows him dragging that shiny double-bitted axe under there.
Yeah.
When you get Brian Thompson pulls his knife out of his butt crack back there. And he holds it like this, you can see him trying to reflect the light.
Yeah. Well, does the security guard, did he even pull his gun out, or is he just saying, stop?
No, he pulled his gun out. He gets 2 shots.
2 shots, okay.
You got more than enough time to get away, dude. They're 100 feet away.
I know. And the van just...
Yeah.
3 business days have passed, and this guy's still standing here.
And he's doing the hole with his legs out. Shoot,
yeah.
Pow, pow. And he gets 2 right in the windshield. Then dive out of the way. Then dude, okay.
Well, and I will say back then, elevators were that big back then. You could...
Oh, yeah, they were
depending on a place, you could pull a vehicle into an elevator.
They have big freight elevators and stuff like that.
So I get that, but at the same time... I don't know, step aside.
Yeah,
just move out of the way.
I don't think they would have been able to drive that van away.
No, and there was a pole right there. He could have just stepped behind the pole.
Dude, sidestep it, dude. Nobody knows what a sidestep is.
So she hides, gets away, because I think the cops, he hears cops or whatever.
The
sirens, yeah. So she gets away. She's in protective custody at the hospital. Cobra and his partner are interviewing her, and that's where she makes that sketch, or she has them to do a sketch of the killer. And yeah, like you said, it's literally the outline of his jaw.
Yeah, and 2 big old cheekbones.
2 big old cheekbones. That's it.
Well, you think about something they said when, during this scene I was going to mention earlier, when they wreck the van and she hits the fire alarm, or she hits the fire alarm in the hospital, but when downstairs, the sprinklers are going off in the parking garage. Because when they kill the photographer, I think they hit it or something.
I think so, yeah.
But
Yeah, Dougie just showed a picture of the sketch. It's like something that a 5-year-old drew.
Oh, I mean, this is a police sketch artist.
Police sketch artist.
And it was so funny to me they had to do it for editing. She was wearing a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
But only thing got wet on her was her hair.
Oh, yeah.
The T-shirt stayed bone dry, I guess, to keep from accidentally showing a nip or something.
Well, maybe so.
But I thought that was funny. I was like, did you notice her shirt didn't get wet? And she's running through sprinklers. Trying to get the elevator to come back. Oh, no. Yeah.
Considering how wet everybody else is in this movie, something about everybody's head being wet.
Well, I think
sticking with the theme.
I think she stayed dried the most. Like, everybody's sweating, and she was just dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I make medicines for that, though.
Cobra's still doing his investigation. He gets assigned to it and all that stuff. Oh, the one funny part, I thought that was really funny, is him and his partner are arguing over her hospital food.
Yeah. Before she,
hey, you want this? You want this? And what is it? What you got? And she's like,
take that salad. You need to eat that salad.
Look,
you done with this?
I think it looks like cheese. Oh, you're done with this, right?
I thought that was pretty funny. So this is the scene where the slasher is taking black shoe polish, pretty much, probably, or
blackening his hair.
That's where he turns into Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Dude.
And he kills 3 people in that hospital.
Yeah.
Or I think it was 3. But no. He killed 2 people in the hospital. He killed 3 people in that garage.
And okay, one nurse is sitting there. The cop is right. The security guard's right there with a gun. You want me to say something?
Well,
no,
that was the cop. That was one of the cops that was supposed to have been watching her.
Yeah, he was over flirting with his nurse.
He left her room.
Gee.
And then the other guy left because somebody supposedly called and said he had to be back at the headquarters.
Which I think that was probably the female cop.
And that's when Stallone realized, hey, somebody called and told them to leave. They got an inside.
Yeah.
Man.
So while Cobra finds some information, he goes home and he immediately gets attacked by 2 guys with axes, of course. And he blows them away or whatever he does. I don't even remember what he does, honestly, to them. Well, so she's being chased by him. And I thought it was so hilarious how he is busting. First of all, he's able to take that knife and bust through a hospital door, which is impossible because those hospital doors are
solid.
Like 3 inches of solid wood, so it's impossible.
It's not a closet door.
No, I mean he was
with enough sweat and sharpness, you might get through it.
He'd pull that knife out, wipe the sweat on it.
Oh man.
It's like the closet scene from Michael Myers. That's what I was making me think of because you start trying to bust in with a knife.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's with them old louvered closet doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are super easy to break. That's when because his partner calls him and say, okay, I'm at the office. What did you need?
Oh, yeah.
And that's when he realizes, why ain't you at the hospital? And he goes to run out, and that's when the 2 guys attack him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he knocks the first guy out. He don't kill both of them. Because I was saying, I was wondering how long it'd be before he throws a punch.
It's probably that's probably one of the guys that probably was shooting at the end.
Does he live on top of like a Pepsi warehouse? Like, why is his apartment is
Pepsi paid them a lot of money for that neon sign.
It's huge, and it goes right into his apartment.
That just could be how those apartments were over in California.
Yeah,
because they're right on the beach.
Them big buildings sell it as advertising space.
Because what did I say? Santa
Clara?
Santa Clara, I think it was, yeah. So it's all beach apartments and stuff like that. They're probably above businesses and stuff like that.
Because you ever notice when he goes to park, it's like right at the sand.
Yeah. So she's being chased by him, and she gets away, and that's when, Doug, that's what you were talking about. She hits the fire alarm.
Yeah.
She busts it and hits it, and the killer, very sweaty. He was going down the escalator, and his back was just sweat. Okay, you guys got anything else for scene 2?
No, that's good.
Dougie?
No.
All right, let's go to scene 3. Cobra and his partner Gonzalez take Ingrid into protection, and this is when also they recruit that female cop.
Yeah, she goes with them. Yeah.
They are pursued by the night slasher, and chase begins. Cobra is able to take out the pursuers, but not before wrecking his vehicle, and the killers get away. They decide to take Ingrid out of town to a secret location.
It's just a meth lab.
What?
The secret location. It's like it's just basically a meth lab off of a dirt road.
That's like an old hotel. That's the way they used to be. Dude.
It's a hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
Motel.
That's a motel.
Somebody
not a
was
hotel.
definitely cooking.
Hey, there's a few of those motels in Candler here.
It's
More than a
coolest
few.
part when the whole car chase and everything.
Yeah.
It's also the saddest part because he tears that car all to crap. But at the same time, you think the killers are driving an old Ford Granada. Dude.
Yeah, remember, all those cars were tough back then, though. Oh.
Dude. Okay, we got this high-performance 50 Mercury with nitrous and everything in it, and this dude's out running him in a Granada? No, I don't.
Has to flip the
Yeah, he flips the NOS.
ignition.
He flips the NOS and speeds up to the guy, but somehow the guy is still able to outrun him.
Exactly. No way. And then he does the whole jump. Oh, man.
Because the guy's like, and he's still able to outrun.
He's got to have like a reinforced frame, roll cage, everything weight enhancement. That thing
That
for it to be going that slow.
That's the reason they call them things lead sleds. They were heavy. And they took a lot of horsepower just to get them to move.
Yeah. Cobra's car?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
nothing but steel.
oh yeah, I mean, I could see him taking out all them other vehicles with it. But yeah, and okay, yeah.
And this is where I think it's so funny that they're all, they're in this big chase, and they're using shotguns. Why don't you actually use a pistol or something? They're all using, shotguns to shoot each other, buckshot to shoot each other, and this is where. Did you notice the seat belts that he had in there? It was those ones that
5-point harnesses.
Yeah. He had one. He had those, and this is where they're in. I guess they're on the docks now, and they're driving around the docks, and Stallone somehow crashes right into a boat, somehow, and wrecks that thing, and then the killers get away. He got. I think he took out. They took
a few of them.
They took out one of his because they took out his partner's car.
Yeah.
And then he took out one of theirs, but then they take out him.
And then they go farther into. The next thing you know, they takes her into protection. That was the first part of protection.
Yeah, this was just the whole.
And there's
first part.
And that's when he's like, that's when he starts getting suspicious because he sees the female officer on the phone everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And then he comes out with that old Dodge pickup.
Yeah. Which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it's cool, Dodge pickup.
And then we get this little diner scene where she's putting a shit ton of
ketchup. That
ketchup
should have run out.
And she just kept on squeezing.
I told you, the whole theme of this movie is wetness. Everything's got to be wet. The characters are wet. Her fries are wet.
And I will say the whole that whole scene was just kind of very. I'll go ahead and use it. Cringe for me. Him grabbing that giant
porcelain hamburger.
Yeah. Oh, your meal's here.
Feed your family.
Oh,
it was weird.
Stupid.
And she's a psychopath. Who puts ketchup spread over the top of fries?
Some people do it.
You dip your fries.
Some people do it.
Some people do it, man. But that was excessive use
need to be
of
studied.
a condiment.
Well, and then
excessive.
and they go to another area that they stopped at where it's like a rest stop, and he's like looking at the little trinkets and
he's over at.
This is probably the worst part of the movie for me.
Yeah, he's over like looking at the whatnots, and then they're over eating processed sugar. And he's trying to get some out of the old Coke machine.
Yeah. And that's when his partner reveals to her, he's like, you want to go make him smile or make him happy? Go tell him his name. And she reveals the name of Marion Cobretti. That's his real name. Because everybody calls him Cobra.
Yeah.
Marion.
Yeah.
And then they get to that hotel and
they get to the hotel. It's pretty uneventful. I mean, nothing happens.
Yeah, besides the car chase scene, once
he wrecks his
car, they decide to take the truck and get out of town. That's pretty much it for that.
Yeah. Other than you want to see her eat French fries, but
yeah,
that's about it.
All right, you guys got anything else for scene 3?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the final scene. The next morning, they awaken to discover the hotel surrounded by a small army of the killers. Gonzalez is shot, and Cobra and Ingrid make their way to a factory. Cobra eliminates them one by one in a final violent of confrontation. Cobra faces the night slasher and emerges victorious, rescuing Ingrid. Gonzalez survives, and Cobra and Ingrid ride off into the sunset.
Okay. So...
This is the 50 different ways to dismount a bike.
Yeah.
Dude. Apparently, like every dirt bike and every person in LA is coming after him at this point, which and that's when you get to see him assemble the famous, MP5.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a SK or MP5, but with that big old laser on it, he's breaking it out, putting it all together, and he has to aim the laser in the mirror, it hits him back, it's... And
I mean, what is it? Is it just like a
machine gun.
Just a little tiny machine gun?
It's just a small machine gun. I mean, they're good machine guns. I'm not saying they're not good ones, but they're very expensive. But that laser, jeez. Bit of an overkill.
I was trying to think of some movie, and it's an old movie that had a giant... it was my favorite Jason movie, Friday the 13th, Part 6. One of the cops got a new laser in, and this thing was the size of a Coke can, a can of Coke. This thing, and the laser was just tiny, but it was literally big. It was probably about 8 inches long, and I mean huge
on this little revolver.
And that's what made me think of that in Cobra.
Well, yeah, I mean back then the technology wasn't there to make them smaller.
No,
they make them tiny now.
Yeah. Real people do not use those things.
No, and what's so funny
about
about
how to shoot a gun, you don't need a laser.
What was so funny about it? He starts shooting. He's got this laser on in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
see it, and he's hip firing.
Somehow magically hitting all of the shots.
Oh yeah, this is
Cobra,
80s, man. Main guys don't miss. Don't miss. That's when they find out for sure that the female cop, they all come out to leave.
Yeah, because she's literally running out because I think they try to make a phone call. The phones are not working, so that's when they look out the window and they see her running to them. They're like, oh,
they're over there.
They're over there.
And that's when his partner says, I never liked that bitch.
Yeah. Well, and they all run out, start trying to shoot him, and then he gets shot, his partner.
Yeah.
In the leg.
In the leg.
And then that's when they get into their truck. Well, Ingrid drives, and Stallone stays in the back of the bed of the truck. And starts just taking them out one by one.
Oh, yeah. From the back.
And he pulls one up. Or one jumps in the bed. I think that's what happens. One jumps in the bed, and he literally throws him over the truck. And she just runs over him. And then this is what Ebert was talking about, just...
Where to leave your bike.
To leave your bike.
I mean, you could have literally followed them. They'd been motorcycles everywhere. It's like, what's going on?
So I think what happens is they wreck the truck somehow.
Well, it's because there's 2 cars in the road that are on fire.
And he's like, he tells her to drive through them.
That's right.
He's like, go through it. And he like holds on, which is so funny.
Somehow they got ahead of him. And lit some cars on fire. And stuck them in the road.
Yeah, like when they blow through it, it messes up the front of the truck, and she spins out, and it slings Sylvester Stallone out.
Yeah,
and he rolls up on the ground.
Because I remember it exploded the grill, and the hood came up. I do remember that.
But they're fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
And so I think he takes out a couple more, and then that's when they start running to that factory.
Yeah, through a field of lemon trees. Yeah.
And then this is kind of where, she's I think she gets separated from him, and he starts taking out one by one.
Then there were 4. It gets down to Stallone, the night slasher, the corrupt cop and then her.
Yeah, and then the there's one point where the corrupt cop jumps on the back of Stallone, and then the serial killer blows her away with a shotgun. He turns around.
Yeah, he was initially getting ready to take Brian Thompson out, the bad guy, the night slasher. He was getting ready to kill him because he had his machine gun on him, ready to do it. Because he was finally in the dark. He could use his laser.
Hiya.
Oh, God. So she's gone, and I want to say he kills that other guy, the one that was kind of almost second command. He was the driver during the big chase scene.
Right.
Yeah, he kills him somehow, and I can't remember. Maybe sets him on fire or something, or
I think he was the one that he lured out there with the laser beam on, wasn't it?
It might have been. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
And then he stabbed him with his knife because he carried a knife.
Oh, okay.
Or no, he opened that knife, remember, and he threw it.
That's right.
And hit him in the chest.
Yeah,
When he went to reach for that gun, you see him open the knife, showing the shininess of the blade, and throws it, chucks it, and kills him.
Then you get to the, you want to kill me, pig?
And this is where they have the big monologue. He's like, "You're not gonna kill me. You got to go by the law or something."
He's soaking
like that.
wet, and every time
You ain't above the law,
pig.
Hey, he
goes everywhere.
He said pig like nobody else has ever said pig.
Dude, he killed it. He killed it. He killed his scene. Brian Thompson was on it in this movie, man.
Well, this is literally what I know him from. I don't know him from. I know other things from him, but this is what, because he said pig.
Yeah.
So much.
pig.
What was so funny about it, did you notice when the girl cop was talking to him how big he is?
Yeah.
The dude was probably big. He was way bigger than Stallone. He was huge. He was built. I mean, he's always been a really big dude, but he always stayed covered up. One of Stallone's like, "You cover them up."
Let's see.
Making me look bad.
Keep talking.
Let's see what else happened. Oh, after, you get the monologue of you're not going to shoot me, pig.
It's the only time you actually see him like physically spit, like
He does it
full on.
Yeah, every time he says pig,
Spits so much,
dude, and he's soaking.
He's back to the theme of everything being wet. He's got to spit. They look like they just, that little pool that they all have their little gay club in. They must have went down there and had a little swim, and then
they soaked up all the water. That's why it was empty. They were clanging it, trying to do a rain dance. Cling, cling, cling. But that was, of course, they got to end in a refinery. What is it about 80s movies and refineries? Why is there lemon trees planted outside of a refinery? I don't know. I'd love to see what was cut out of this movie, because I say they could fill so many plot holes.
Here it is.
Even I have rights, don't I?
Classic.
They'll say I'm insane, won't they? The court is civilized, isn't it, pig?
There's so much spit. I'd hate it. He ruined that mic boom. He ruined that thing. They had to wring that thing out.
Hopefully that picked that up.
It sounded like it did.
So they're fighting. They finally start to fight, and he takes him. Somehow Stallone is able to lift this guy that's probably 100 pounds more than he is.
Yeah,
sticks
up
him on
into the air.
a hook.
Well,
That carries him into the refinery.
They trade blows. They trade blows for a while.
Yeah.
Like Dougie was like, "Oh, he's going to throw him in that hot magma," and it's like, "No, that ain't what's going to happen." But then, because they've been foreshadowing them hooks going behind him for a while.
Yeah.
But he does get on top of Stallone. He's got that knife.
Yeah, it's got all the spikes on
in it, and he pushed it into his eyes.
I don't know how he was able to lift him like that.
No.
There's just no way.
Hey, he lifted the Hulkster.
That was a Dead by Daylight moment. Like the killer with the hook. He just.
Well, the worst part is that hook. I don't even think it was sharp in the first place.
No, it was dull. It was dull,
dude. And he was screaming. I mean, that was a killer death scene.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I really there for some reason I remember watching a version. Maybe I'm just totally making this up, but I remember for some reason him swiping at the flames as he was getting closer to the flames. Like he still had his knife.
Was trying to cut it.
Like he was trying to cut
that.
it.
Yeah.
And so I was what I was waiting for when I was watching it yesterday.
Like his nerves and his knife hand messed up.
And then he just burns up.
You're going into a blast furnace. You're not going to make it, man.
It was a very awesome death.
Oh yeah,
for a villain. So
and then they just magically find like a Harley sitting outside.
Well, it's probably one of theirs.
It's the one that it must have rolled over on a mattress or something. It didn't get dropped.
I know. They just parked it.
That one. Let me get off this one before you kill me.
Well, but before that, they, the cops are there, and his captain's like, we'll do anything for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, is there anything we can do for you? He's like, well, I wouldn't mind getting my car fixed. And he's like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
He says it's not in the budget.
It's not in the budget.
Anything you want, well, you got it. Could you fix my car? Nope, no, that ain't going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Well, considering they have to buy a new NOS outlet.
No telling how much it costs.
Dude.
Especially back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no internet back then, so you really have to
go out and hunt them parts.
So that cocky detective goes up to him. He's like,
yeah,
no hard feelings or whatever he says, and then Stallone
he hesitates, but then he turns around, shakes his hand.
Yeah, he shakes his hand,
socks him.
He pulls him forward and
he punches him. Yeah,
punches. Oh man, it's so funny. It's so great.
And the sound effect of that smack.
He's just like, oh,
kadoosh.
Yeah, he was in another planet for a minute because he was like trying to hold on to the front of that car. Oh. Like you just got the one that took out Drago, buddy.
It's almost like he didn't believe that it actually happened.
That was improvised too. He was meant to just shake his hand and walk off.
Something we never talked about. Stallone didn't leave fingerprints anywhere.
No,
the dude wore them leather gloves in the whole movie.
He wore them as he was eating his pizza, as he was cleaning his gun. Yes. He always wore them.
I think he had them on when him and Bridget started making out on the bed.
You know what? I think he grabbed her face with the glove hand.
We didn't bring up that one thing you saw, Dougie.
Oh. Yeah, when they're like in a room or whatever, and the camera pans to the underside of the bed. I think this is a tribute to Rocky because there's a pair of, like you were saying, either like driver shoes or boxing shoes, and it says ROC, and then there's like a slight K. And
it was a cool thing you pointed out because I never noticed it before. But why would she have driving shoes or boxing shoes?
Was it in the motel?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to.
It was under a bed.
I'm not gonna rent it, but
I can't remember. Was it the hotel or when she got out of the hospital? I can't remember. It was one of the two.
She was. I mean, she was still in the hospital. They didn't get to the motel until after they had the chase, and then they decided to actually go out of town.
Because I'm pretty sure, because it shows like Sylvester Stallone walking up to the.
I mean, it had to be. Yeah, that's the motel near the end.
Yeah, go back and watch it, and you guys can check this out because it really does. There's a set of white boxing shoes on, and you see a ROC in the beginning of another letter.
Because I think that's the only bed they show in the entire movie. Because they don't show Stallone's bedroom. It's just they show his weird
little
apartment, whatever
whatever you call it. Yeah.
So, and then this is where we find out that Gonzalez.
Go Godzilla.
Gonzalez survived, so he's okay. And then just randomly, Cobra, they're like, "Hey, Cobra, we'll give you a ride on our helicopter, which will take 5 minutes to get back to town."
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
I got my own ride.
He finds that shiny motorcycle on the side.
Get her to climb on the back.
From the dealership.
From the dealership, and then him and Ingrid ride away off in the sunset.
Yeah, beautiful love story. Little tear down the face.
All right, you guys got anything else for final scene?
No, that was about it.
No, that's it. Okay. All right, time to do our world famous. I feel like I say it different every time. World famous that everyone knows category of...
Did not know that.
When Stallone was signed to play the titular lead in Beverly Hills Cop 4, I don't know if you guys knew that. He was signed on to do Beverly Hills Cop. Not Eddie Murphy at first.
I think I did hear that one.
Okay. He decided to, and this is what happened. He decided to rewrite the script almost completely, removing nearly all the comedic aspects and turning it into an action-packed blockbuster extravaganza that he felt was better suited to him. So he had the Beverly Hills Cop script, but he was like, nope. And he wrote his own, and this is what became. This was originally supposed to be Beverly Hills Cop. Not this script, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So they decided to take that Beverly Hills Cop script somewhere else.
Somebody else like, nah, we're good. We're not doing this one.
We're going to take our script somewhere else.
Yeah.
The studio read his revised script and rejected it. The proposed action scenes would have increased the movie's total budget far beyond what they planned. Stallone later channeled his ideas far into an original script, which Stallone left Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy was brought in to play the lead role. Bridget Nielsen would play a villainess in Beverly Hills Cop 2 against Murphy's role.
Yeah, I couldn't see Stallone being...
Well, it wouldn't
Eddie
even...
Murphy, it would have been a different movie.
Yeah, it would have been... If he got a hold of it, it would have been a different movie.
You gotta say it like, man, come on, say you stuck a banana in my tailpipe, man.
So, he pretty much just took all his ideas and made Cobra. That's pretty much what he did.
I was gonna say they didn't have enough motorcycle budget in Beverly Hills Cop. All they had was that Nova.
No telling what he was actually going to do in that.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so at one point during filmings, Stallone complained to cinematographer Rick Waite that they were falling behind. And this is what I was telling you guys about, like them kind of like lashing back out at Stallone. And he said, and his crew needed to work harder. He was telling them that they need to work harder. Stallone was. Waite responded by saying that if Stallone get his hands off Bridget Nielsen's ass and stop showing off to his bodyguards, maybe they wouldn't have problems with time.
Ooh, burn.
Stallone was shocked that somebody would talk to him that way, but he toned down his ego for a few weeks. In an interview, Waite also said that Stallone had a great sense of humor despite his huge ego. He also confirmed a rumor that Stallone was the true director of the film, calling credit director George P. Cosmos a good producer, but a bad director. Let's do our other favorite part. All right. Dougie, let's start with you. What's your number one or favorite quote?
The supermarket one where he walks up to the guy and he says, "Go ahead. I don't shop here." That's definitely the best one.
Okay. Doug?
I see the
Well,
problem. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I was that one's really good, and I liked the one where he told him where he said, "You're the disease and I'm the cure." Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Yeah.
There was a lot. He threw a lot in there, and there was so many that popped up. I was like, "Oh, that's a good one," and that's a good one. It was really hard to pick like one really good line, but there was a lot of them. I wonder how many of them Stallone come up with though.
Probably all of them.
Yeah. The one where he come in at the beginning of the grocery store when he says, "I don't negotiate with a." What? How do you say that? You just said it. I don't negotiate with. I can't remember what he said now. Anyway, I'll just go with that one.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to go with that one as well. You're a disease and I'm the cure.
Brian Thompson's speech was the whole pig speech, dude. That was great.
It's the whole
pig. His voice, dude.
It's pig spitting everywhere. Doug, what's your best part of the movie?
The best part of the movie is the chase scene with the car.
Okay.
I thought that was probably, man, that was right up there with the final battle. Yeah, I'd say that the car chasing, it was just so ridiculous.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Dougie, best part
Yeah,
of the
the
movie?
Night Slasher's death. Yeah.
Death?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably one of the best villain deaths out there. Mine, I'm gonna say actually it's not very long, but the whole grocery store scene, him pulling up at the grocery store, the guy taking out everybody in the grocery store, just that whole grocery store scene. That's probably my best part of the movie for me. So Dougie, favorite character?
Cobra.
Okay. Doug,
I'm going the Night Slasher.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Cobra. I mean, I honestly,
Close between the two.
Well, yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of really any character in this movie. Honestly, I liked Cobra, but it's just like, yeah.
I mean, between him and Bridget Nielsen, both of them were just like eye candy for different reasons.
I mean, I did like his partner. I probably liked his partner more than Cobra.
He was funny, yeah.
But yeah,
He
I
brought a
liked
lot of
him
humor to it.
as being funny.
It's a lot more down to earth. They were definitely an odd couple.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's do our final rating and final thoughts. Final thoughts, Dougie?
It's definitely not the best movie that I've seen being here and doing these podcasts, but it's not a terrible movie either. It's just okay. I'd say out of 5, I'd probably give it like a 2.5.
Okay. Would you watch it again?
By choice?
Be honest, Dougie.
I mean, like if you
Dougie,
watched it by yourself, or even if you put it in with friends and watched it.
Maybe if I was with friends, I'd be like, yeah, this is something corny to put on in the background while we're doing whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, you said 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug. Final thoughts.
I mean, it's just the era. It was nostalgia. All the backgrounds, the 80s stuff. I loved it. It was so stupid. It was just an awesome movie. I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's so bad it's good,
So, like I was saying earlier, this was a staple in our house growing up. I mean, it goes along with all the action hero movies. Arnold and Bruce Willis and just all of Stallone's movies. I mean, it was just those cheesy action films. I enjoy it. It's definitely not the greatest movie in the world. It's not the worst movie in the world. It's definitely not Stallone's worst movie. It does have a lot of issues, but it's just one of those cheesy, like Derek says, turn your mind off type movies you can watch. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3 in the middle of the road. Well, I guess Dougie, yours is middle of the road, but 3. I think 3 is a good score.
I mean, like it has no real continuity through the movie, but it's one of the movies. If you ever saw it and you come across it on TV, you could watch it from any point and get something out of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it would. It could pop up on the last scene, the first scene, in the middle. It wouldn't matter. You could get something out of that, whatever you call it.
Yeah. So our combined scores, it came out to be a 3.16.
The new guy drug it down.
Oh, that's actually. I mean, that's a perfect score for this movie. Like I said, it's not the greatest movie in the world. It's just there's a lot of issues with it. But I mean that also goes back to with Stallone being full of coke and him trying to control this entire movie. And I would be curious to see what a 2-hour cut of this movie
I think if this was directed by, or just like it was directed by somebody else, I'd say it'd probably be easily a 4. Just depending on who they had doing it and if it was.
You keep his ego in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could have took a different approach with it, and it would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah.
A lot more serious.
I don't think the movie deserves as much hate as it gets.
No.
But like I said, it's just one of those cheesy movies. I've seen I've probably seen 100 times. It's just one of those movies that you can turn on and
background,
enjoy a cheesy action movie. To me, it goes along with like they mentioned Commando, and that's another one of those cheesy movies, or a Running Man. I enjoy Running Man, and it's the same category.
He's coming for you, Derek.
But it's just like, I think it's pretty much it. So a 3.16. That's not bad.
No.
You guys got anything else?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. That's all for today's episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed our hunt for the killer in 1986's Cobra. Join us next time on Video Rental as we tackle another classic movie. Until then, stay cinematic, and remember, I'm going to try my best alone here. You're the disease, and I'm the cure.
Yeah, that's good.